How do we factor this expression? Notice how we have a squared minus 7a plus 12. We're letting a equal the inside, which is x squared minus 1. We know how to factor trinomials. We have a times a is a squared, and what times what is 12? Let's try 3 and 4. Negative 3 times negative 4 is 12, and these add to be negative 7. So what is a again? A is x squared minus 1. So we substitute x squared minus 1 for a, and we have the final result, x squared minus 4, x squared minus 5. And don't forget to factor fully. Difference of squares, we have x plus 2, x minus 2. And then we have x squared minus 5, which we leave alone. Here we have 2a squared minus 5a minus 3, where a equals sine theta. So essentially, we're asked to factor 2a squared minus 5a minus 3, which is called trinomial factoring. We can guess. What times what is 3? Let's try 3 and 1, and we'll choose negative and positive. And 2a times negative 3 is negative 6a, plus a is negative 5a. So this is the correct factored form. And we just substitute a with sine theta. So 2 times sine theta plus 1, bracket, we have sine theta minus 3. So this here is the factored form. And by the way, next year we'll practice factoring. Sine theta squared is equivalent to sine squared theta. Let's try some more challenging factoring problems. It's always a good idea to pull out the GCF. So we have x squared plus 2x, because 1/2 times 2x is just 1x, minus 8, because we double it, because negative 8 times 1/2 is negative 4. And then we factor normally, trinomial factoring. Let's try 4 and 2, and we'll try positive 4 and negative 2. These multiply to be negative 8, and they add to be 2. Now, it's kind of hard to factor when we're dealing with decimal numbers, so why don't we try getting rid of the decimal by pulling out a half of the whole thing. So when we say 1/2 times 2a squared, we get the first term. And when we double 1.5, we get 3. 3a multiplied by 1/2 is 1.5a. And we also double this, so we get negative 20. And the question is, can we factor this trinomial where the coefficient is not 1? And let's try guessing. We have 2a times a is 2a squared. And what times what is negative 20? So after trying many times, we have 5 and 4. Because negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. And we have 2a times 4 is 8a, minus 5a is 3a. So this here is a fully factored form. For this question, we have a strange constant e. It's an irrational number much like pi, and it's approximately 2.72. How do we factor this? Let's use some clever algebra. We'll write this as e to the x all squared minus 25, because when we multiply using exponent laws, x times 2 is 2x. And so essentially we have a squared minus 25, where a equals e to the x. Now we factor using difference of squares. So we have plus 5 minus 5. And what is a? We defined it as e to the x. So the factored form is e to the x plus 5 and e to the x minus 5.